Hey guys, Will here with our friend Lincoln.
Hey guys,
Today we're going to be discussing finally the Kenobi show. We were going to do
finally.
uh, a mid-season review like we usually do with the Disney shows. It didn't really happen this time. I can't remember why, but it didn't happen. Um, so now we're just kind of do a seasonal review, kind of give our thoughts on it, and then like our thoughts on what this show means for the rest of the future shows and Disney things.
Yeah. Before we get started though, I do have a trivia question for you. And you know how you missed like 3 weeks in a row so far.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of an easier one for you.
I'm gonna get this one wrong just because you said that.
Is Luke's aunt and uncle name? Sorry. What are Aunt Luke and Uncle's names?
Okay, it's Owen, Lars, and Baru.
Uh-huh. Yes. Correct.
I forget what Owen's dad's name is though.
I don't remember his name either.
Because like you see him apparently he's Skywalker's stepdad. So
Yes. And then I have a question for the week.
alright.
I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Gosh. Um. So I don't know if I've asked this question before. I might have. What is one thing you really like learning about once you get into it? And I think I might have asked this before.
I don't know if you've asked this question, but I think we've discussed this before, but I'm fine with discussing it again because I have a new answer, I think.
All right, go for it.
So, usually, I think last time I said just like stuff involving history or like histories of like sci-fi or fantasy worlds I'm really into, like Mortal Kombat, you know, I'm really into that lore, really into Star Wars lore. Um, if I find something interesting, I'll like do heavy background information on it. But recently, because the whole uh, us getting into D&D, I've been doing a lot of uh, research into it, to make sure to make a
I,
great experience for everyone, you know?
for sure. I've been doing a lot of research, and I can't imagine how much you've been doing. I've like it's funny because we send each other videos back and forth.
Yeah,
Um, I'd have to say D&D probably because I've been trying to learn a lot more about that as well. But one
yeah,
thing I guess I probably didn't talk about before is I really like learning about different religions, specifically older religions that like um like pantheons and mythologies.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe
Which one
it's
do you
because
like more?
you know I don't really know.
You feel like
Most
a Norse
recently,
guy.
I got in. I probably am a Norse guy. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
Um, Most recently, though, one I really got into was Egyptian, and that's probably just because of Moon Knight.
yeah.
But I was just like, this is so weird because I looked up a question. I was like, Tiamat. I was no, am I thinking the
Met
right person?
is based off of a real god, so.
Yeah, isn't that the crocodile god?
No. It's,
No, no.
G-Med is basically like a snake water dragon thing, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
No, no, no. What's the name of the god hero? What's his name?
Talking about
Serves.
Moon Knight's god?
No, that's Khonshu.
Yeah. Who are you talking about? The crocodile?
Yeah.
Is, gosh, the guy's name was Haro. He was the avatar of Oh gosh, it's not Nimoy. It's not Now. Wait, what is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me Google this. This is gonna bother me. I have to
Amit.
Google this now.
Amit.
Amit. Yes.
Amit.
Amit.
So basically, I was like, I don't think Amit's a god because I remember hearing that. Um, and basically, I found out Amit is kind of a god, but also a demon. Weird thing. Um,
I know the Egyptian gods are kind of like it. So for me, I've always thought of as a god as being like a perfect being, right?
yeah.
But in a lot of pantheons, because they're used in stories, they're more like flawed, powerful beings. You know, they're
Which is
like
so weird.
humans on crack.
Like I think of like Zeus and just like, he cheated on his wife so many times and it's like, huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
anyways,
yeah.
yeah, I I don't know how much more. I know I could talk about this for a while, but I don't know where the conversation's going to head after that one. So I'm going to stop it prematurely.
Well, so now it's time to review Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
All right, and then obviously again, we're gonna get into some spoilers. If
Heavy spoilers.
heavy spoilers for Star Wars, for Obi-Wan, for anything Star Wars. So just be aware of that. But I guess the way to start it out is maybe you should talk about like what makes Obi-Wan such a good character to you, or like your feelings on Obi-Wan besides the show.
Well, we should probably do a rating first and then get
You
into
think
that.
so? Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
So we've discussed this a little bit before, but I'm placing it at like a 5 right now. Maybe I could go up higher, but like a 5 because I feel like if anything, the show did good with their acting, cinematography, and music, and kind of action. But the plot just brings it way down for me.
Agree. I would go with a 6 though. Because I was looking forward to the show every week. It wasn't the first thing I wanted to do in the morning though, so I think 6 is pretty fair. But before, I just want to talk about for a minute what Obi-Wan means to both of us
Yeah,
before we get like really heavy into it. So I'm gonna let you go first because I know this is a special character to you.
yeah. So for me, Obi-Wan has always been part of my, I guess, growing up and childhood. Um, Growing up, I was more of a prequels fan than anything. So like I saw Obi-Wan the most probably from the prequels. Ben Kenobi's cool, but I always liked Obi-Wan better. My brother is a very big Obi-Wan fanatic, so I've always had to like hear about Obi-Wan this, Obi-Wan that. So it's I know a lot about him for sure. And personally, from my perspective, Obi-Wan is a character who has experienced a lot of loss, and he wasn't really there. Like he wasn't the strongest from the start, and you see him change throughout the movies and lose and lose and lose and end up as Ben Kenobi. And I think the journey he has is very interesting. Especially you see more of his character in Clone Wars. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So unlike William, I probably watched more original trilogy growing up. I never really understood the symbolism behind Obi-Wan until I guess I got a little bit older. But Obi-Wan is such a good character. Because I love the prequels as well. I know a lot of people don't, or maybe I shouldn't say that because a lot of people do now. I know maybe, well, I guess unanimous or almost unanimously, people agree that Ewan McGregor did a good job as Obi-Wan and made the character pretty good. But I guess what William touched on, what makes the character so special to me is just the growth of the character, and also that he's like a nobody because he doesn't really have a high metachlorian count. Like if you read into you know, about Obi-Wan, like he didn't have a high metachlorian count, was not selected by a master. He was really like set up to fail, but he ended up being one of the greatest Jedi masters, and that really speaks to the work he puts in and also the strategy he puts in on the battlefield, because he always tries to settle things with words first, and then if he needs to, he fights, but he doesn't want to hurt anybody really. He just is there to make everything better and just to make the situation better. And I really like a character like that. Um,
Yeah.
but anyways, I guess we're gonna get into the goods of the show, and then we're gonna transition to the bads.
So
So
on the good parts of it, I think they did Darth Vader very well. Even though I know you don't like that he was in it at all, they at least had him do a lot of BA things. You know what I mean?
yeah, I would disagree with you only because his movements are severely off.
Yeah.
L- this felt really weird. I know it's Hayden Christensen, which is cool, but his movements are way off. Like Darth Vader felt weird.
Yeah.
Like not as intimidating, if it makes any sense, just because the movements within the show. Um like it wasn't very commanding. His presence felt a little bit wackier, but don't get me wrong, some of the things that happened I was like, holy crap, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And there was some really good moments, but his presence didn't really feel commanding to me. If just because of the acting done for his character.
Yeah. I
I don't
think
know if that makes any sense, but
I see your perspective for sure. And I think we'll talk more about the negatives of it when we get to the negative portion.
oh yeah,
Um,
sorry.
besides that, I think really just the cast was pretty good. I mean, I have my issues with Leia, but I'm not gonna really include her as a negative. I think the Reva did good. I just don't like. There's always caveats. Okay, I think things that were just purely good were Owen Lars, Baru.
hmm
I think the robot, the silent one, was pretty good. Um, I like the Grand Inquisitor a lot, actually.
I did
Uh,
too. Um, I guess adding to a good thing is the lighting. Especially in the last fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, the light or any fight with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, the lighting felt very good. Like specifically the lighting from the lightsabers. Like whenever Darth Vader was dragging people across the street, I think he had his red lightsaber out, or maybe he didn't.
he did.
And it felt like he was evil, like that color was reflecting off of him. He felt evil, he felt bad, and I really liked that the light reflected that. And then later in the show, when Obi-Wan was trying to reason with Anakin, and Anakin was like, he kind of felt for Obi-Wan, but he also didn't. Like, he was torn. You could see Obi-Wan's blue lightsaber reflect off the portion of his face that was Anakin, which I really liked. And he's like, "No, I killed Anakin Skywalker. You didn't." And
And that
so
sets up for that line in the original trilogy where it's like, um, Anakin killed no, your father was killed by Darth Vader.
yeah,
But then it also makes the scene where he's like, "You killed my father," and then Darth Vader says, "No, I am your father." So he's saying, "No, I did not. I didn't. I didn't kill your father. I am him. It's like, all right, you're saying one
Well, at that
thing.
point, wasn't Vader already Vader when they were
Yeah.
born? So, I guess that makes sense. But I
Well,
think
yeah.
I know you didn't really like Leia, but towards the end of the show, I really liked the some moments with her, especially the moment where Obi-Wan knelt down next to her and was like, "Hey, you have these traits from your mother and these traits from your father." I was just like, "That is so cool!" Like, I love that.
Yeah.
It felt like a really good moment, and it also makes sense that it's the show to some degree. Not my favorite thing, and I know you don't like it a lot at all. But it's also like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope, where how she knows Obi-Wan, how did she even get like that? But it makes sense to an extent, but
I forgot what exactly I said, but it adds, but it also takes. You know.
yeah. And I felt like that was with a lot of this show, because, sorry, I guess we're moving on from good and we're just talking about general things in the show. A lot of this show, that's probably why I put it at 6, is because the things it did add were cool. The things it took away, though, were not very cool. And
See, sorry, I'll let you finish.
I guess one thing I think about is like of the fights you'd want to see again, like a rematch or in Star Wars, most people would say Obi-Wan and Darth Vader because we get that lame fight. Well, it's not really a lame fight, but it kind of is at the beginning of um the first movie, or sorry, the fourth movie, depending on your perspective. Um and it's like very slow and it's just very meaningful and symbolic, but so this is a fight that everyone would want to see, myself included. I just didn't like that it was included because I think I said this to you. It kind of felt like, maybe like my one of my family members is dead and then someone just goes up and slaps my family member in the face like at an open casket funeral.
Yeah.
Like it brought such intense emotions out of me because it was like this is not supposed to be this way. Um
Well,
Not only is, you know, I felt like it did kind of mess up the line in the beginning. And A New Hope, like, I was the apprentice, but now I'm the master. And I know like people are like, well, Obi-Wan beat Darth Vader, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I really just didn't like that. I think their fight should have been on uh Mustafar should have been their
I think
last
that
fight.
was Mustafar.
It was Mustafar that they were on.
I think so.
Well, the previous
It didn't look
Mustafar
like
should
it
have been
though.
their last fight.
Like, let's see here. Let me look this up.
But I don't know. I guess we'll talk about Vader and power scaling in a little bit.
I want to talk about the fights real quick.
Oh yeah,
To
for
be
sure. Go
honest,
for it.
sorry, what?
Go for it.
I feel like okay, this might be me being critical, right? A little too critical. I did not. The only fight in the show I enjoyed was the Rev and Darth Vader one.
That was a really cool fight. That was probably one of the coolest fights.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the fights. I didn't like how Vader moved, if that makes sense.
yeah.
But I did enjoy the fights. Like they felt cool. Um,
I don't know. I think for me, I was just too soured with the awful plot to enjoy the fights. Because the fights are cool, but they don't make sense. You know what I mean?
yeah, but like I'm just looking at the fights
Yeah. I mean, when
like
you
by themselves. Like like they felt
unfortunately
really awesome.
the show became like one of the ones that you can only really enjoy when you turn your brain off.
Yeah, which is really disappointing because previously we talked about, oh man, I'd hate the Inquisitors to be the main villain in Obi-Wan. But now that I'm looking back, I'd be like, whoa, I'd love the Inquisitors to be the main villains in Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Um, because the reason for that is Obi-Wan really just didn't use the Force and was not used to the Force. So it feels like it might have been a fair fight.
It just so like the power scaling wise, um, it just like really doesn't make any sense. So we have Obi-Wan who hasn't used the Force in like 10 years. He is just really not the same guy. And then he unlocks the Force for himself, then fights Darth Vader, and gets just absolutely destroyed. Real bad. And then within, I think, 24 hours of the show, like continuity wise, he's already beating Darth Vader again. Which,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's a
So
little weird.
this is it for me. Like, I would have been fine with Obi-Wan maybe keeping up with Darth Vader if, like, he'd been talking to Qui-Gon in the desert, maybe using his Force abilities, like, just meditating, doing stuff. I understand why he wasn't, because he was like, oh, well, I don't want anybody to know. Like, there's a strong sense of Force on, light side, like Force on Tatooine. But then again, I think that's maybe why he's at Tatooine, because it's like a dark, cruel place.
Well, he's at Tatooine to look over Luke.
Well, yeah, but yes, of course, but also Tatooine is like scum and villainy, so I feel like it would be covered up, but maybe not. Um, I've I think it's kind of ruins the character of Vader a little bit, which is really disappointing for
They
me
made him
because
look weak in that last fight. It was bad. It was so bad.
I
Obi-Wan
don't
was
really like
completely
the
destroying him.
concept of Ahsoka beating Vader, right? That was okay. I guess she didn't really beat Vader.
She did
Like,
not
Vader
beat Vader.
killed her. But, like, she, like, messed up his helmet. I don't really like that concept very much because, to me, Vader is, like, this unstoppable killing force. Like, nobody's beating him except the Emperor. And that's only because, like, his cybernetics and stuff.
Yeah.
But, Vader has slaughtered so many Jedi that Obi-Wan would not have been a problem at this point. And I've heard a theory, like, I was watching up on videos for why, Obi-Wan did this or why blah blah blah. And one that came up is like how Obi-Wan got so powerful when he was fighting Vader. And one of the things said, well, it's because he, embraced passion in the Force for Luke and Leia. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, he became a Grey Jedi at that point, and he allowed his emotions to enhance his Force abilities. But then again, and it talked about how he kind of did the same thing with Darth Maul. But I think it'd be relatively easy for Vader just to catch the rocks and just like crush them or something. Like,
it just didn't make sense, unfortunately. Like most of the show. The plot of the show, I keep mentioning this, I'll go into specifics now. Just doesn't make any sense. You know what? Well, let's go through each episode and I'll talk about how we feel about each episode, and then like how I feel like it doesn't make sense.
I do want to talk about something before we get to that.
All right.
And it's a character that kind of I liked, but I feel like the writing was super poor for the character. Was Reva.
Yeah.
Reva, initially, I did not like the character. I was just like, this is such an entitled person. Why does she think she's entitled to anything? Like, she's basically a fly. Like, anyone could beat her. And she's like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm gonna be the main Inquisitor. And I'm like, the main Inquisitor could kill you so easily. Sorry, Head Inquisitor. But, you know, the twist where she's like, oh, I'm actually hunting Darth Vader was a really good twist. It's just her actions didn't line up with that.
yeah.
um,
She, when she was first introduced, seemed like a hyper violent, overly aggressive Darth's dark side user. Like she was completely taken in by the dark side, and she kind of stayed like that because all she was doing was hunting down Obi-Wan. And once she became Grand Inquisitor for like a second, she's like, um, I'm gonna attack Vader. That's what this has all been about. But it's like, you killed probably a lot of Jedi. You know,
yeah.
we saw a Jedi that they hanged up, and she definitely most likely had a part of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it's just,
yeah,
it didn't line up consistently because the twist was cool, but it's like, is this the same character?
yeah, and the fact that she's just extremely durable also makes no sense. I know I've told you about this meme already, but it's the only person to have died by a stab wound in Star Wars, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
And she gets stabbed twice. Once as a youngling, somehow survived. Doesn't really make sense, but alright. She
Well,
gets stabbed
technically
again.
3 times.
Yeah. She gets
Doesn't she get
stabbed.
2 stab wounds by Darth Vader? Or is it just one?
She gets stabbed once when she was youngling, once after she tried to ambush him. And
Okay,
so
never mind.
she somehow, this doesn't make any sense. She somehow tanks that wound, flies to Tatooine because she, for some reason, saw this recording and was like, hey, I'm going to go kill this kid for no reason. Goes to Tatooine, attacks Lars, gets kind of jumped, actually, pretty savagely, and continues chasing Luke. Almost kills him, decides not to because I don't know. And she carries him all the way back. And she's already injured, and it doesn't make any sense how she's able to do all this.
And I basically, you mentioned this to me, and doesn't make a lot of sense why Luke or Leia are in the show. Or sorry, not that Luke. Like later, why she pursues Luke or why she pursues Leia.
Yeah, the whole thing with attracting Obi-Wan to save Leia in the first place is kind of retarded because she's like, "Hey, I read records that say that Bail Organa fought with Obi-Wan at one point, so Obi-Wan obviously is gonna come and save the daughter, you know." But then it's like, how would you know that? Even if the records did show this, which I'm sure they did, why would you think that Obi-Wan is in touch with Bail Organa?
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense. And then also, why would she pursue Luke?
Yeah, it
Uh,
doesn't. It doesn't make any sense because, why would she go after Luke? Why would she go to Tatooine? She saw the
and
message. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
and I think it would have been a really good moment because in the comics, the way Obi-Wan finds out Anakin is alive is he sees Darth Vader on a a news thing. And he's just like,
yeah,
"Oh crap, it's Anakin." Like he just knows inherently it's Anakin. And I think that missed something like that could have been played on very well because it's like, wow, he's still alive. He's like, he's slaughtering all these people. Like, I should have just finished the job or whatever.
That's another thing.
I don't know.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is actual garbage now. You know why? He could have stopped Space Hitler twice, but he didn't.
Well, wouldn't Palpatine be Space Hitler?
Yes, but combined they are Space Hitler.
Okay.
No, but basically, the evil empire, he could have slain the person who was second in charge twice, and he didn't. He saw rebels were getting murdered, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm not gonna kill you, Anakin, because I'm just not going to."
which
is
was
kind of
dumb,
weird.
but also, I don't know. I was just kind of like, did this just happen? To really question that.
So, they made Obi-Wan 2 for 3 against Darth Vader. No, actually, no. 2 for 2. Because Obi-Wan beats Anakin, then Darth Vader beats Obi-Wan, then Obi-Wan beats Darth Vader, and then Darth Vader kills or beats Obi-Wan when he sacrifices himself.
What I really liked, and I thought this was cool, was his fighting style changed, Obi-Wan's.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's not Form 3. He wasn't very defensive in that fight. He was very offensive.
Yeah, he wasn't
which is
doing
really
Sarisu.
Which is really weird for Obi-Wan, but I kind of liked it.
I don't know. It felt really out there. Like out of character.
Yeah. So, I guess we're going to go episode by episode and try to remember what went on.
So, episode 1, basically, you get introduced to the Inquisitors, the way Obi-Wan is living, and you see Owen Mars, and what's-her-face, Leia, gets taken.
That was a really mid-episode, but, honestly, the Disney Plus shows, if we've learned anything, they don't start off the best, generally. So,
yeah. I mean, I think the Nari thing was kind of interesting. How he's like, I don't know how he saw Obi-Wan Kenobi or noticed him. That's kind of random. But besides that, he's just kind of like, Master, what are we going to do?
He's like, run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I agree. And then I'm glad episode 2 dropped on the same day. That was kind of a relief because
I mean, episode 2, Obi-Wan is on the rescue mission, goes to, I forgot what the planet's called. Planet looks cool. It's kind of like Coruscant Underworld vibes,
I really appreciated seeing the clone.
Yeah, that was cool.
Do you think he knew it was Obi-Wan?
No. You probably should have, but I don't think you did.
Because that was a 5-0... No, it wasn't a 501st, was it?
Yes, it was.
501st?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, it's a 501st clone.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of sad though, because it's like, they were just tools that were thrown away,
Mm-hmm. I did really like that in the show, seeing that. I wish it would have played on it more, but it's okay.
Obi-Wan is so weird because he uses blasters like crazy. You know,
So uncivilized, gosh.
so uncivilized, and he just kills so many people. But here's the thing, right? In episode 1 and 2, they have the Leia chase scenes. Leia is so annoying in those 2 episodes. Oh my gosh, she
Yeah.
just is so bad.
It's like, how is she kind of outrunning these people?
She's juking them, and it doesn't make any sense. And then, like, even Obi-Wan can't get her. And it's like, what? And then she almost
So,
dies because of her running away. It's kind of like,
yeah, and
what?
then I guess I haven't played what is the video game called with Cal Kestis?
Jedi Fallen Order?
Fallen Order, but apparently once you like stop using your force abilities for a little bit, you have to
It, like,
like
locks.
yeah. So I guess his like unlocking his force abilities again was when Leia fell and he picked her up, or like he
Yeah.
stopped her from falling, which was a cool moment.
I mean, I liked the second one better than the first one, I think. We did
I
see
agree.
the Grand Inquisitor, like, torture a guy, which is kind of cool. Um, and then Reva stabs him. I didn't like the ending because I just feel like Obi-Wan probably should have had his first fight with Reva there. Because if you noticed, Obi-Wan doesn't actually fight Reva once.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Like, he
That
should have.
that probably should have happened. I agree.
But instead, they're like, okay, we're gonna kill the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah,
And,
I think
yeah.
this next episode, it's either 3 or 5 that are my favorite. I think.
Is it the Grand Inquisitor, sorry, the, when they goes to the Inquisitorius place? Or are you talking about when he's on that, uh, mining planet?
The mining planet.
That's episode 3.
Yeah. I really like that episode for some reason.
Yeah, it's the first time you see Darth Vader, really.
Like, I guess seeing the path, learning about it, and then also
Voss.
seeing Quinlan Voss's name, as well as I guess seeing perspectives of the Empire. I always like seeing that. I don't know, like the mole guy. I just really enjoyed that. And then the Vader, like just pulling people out in the street. That was just amazing. But maybe 3 is not my favorite because that's when Vader and Obi-Wan fight. But
well, I mean, the fight isn't terrible, and I think the ending of the fight was really good. But the next
yeah,
episode is probably actually the worst episode, in my opinion.
you think 3 is?
No, 4 is the next one.
Yeah, 3 was. I thought just the path was a really smart thing, and it really felt like they were really starting the rebellion, kind of based off of that. I don't know. Did you catch that vibe, or was it just me?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's just starting the rebellion, because I feel like it's been existing, right?
Yeah.
Cassian Andor is probably doing something.
It'd be cool to see maybe some of the characters and that show come back. Like Rinko, whatever his name was. I'd really like to see the fake Jedi guy come back. That'd be really funny.
Fake Jedi guy. Haj, wait, was something Estra? No. But
Haja?
Haja, yeah, Haja Estri, I think is his name. I really liked his character, actually.
Yeah. I feel like that guy is a really solid actor. Not that
Would you like
So not that
Eternals?
Eternals was a good movie, but I felt like he did a really good job in that movie.
Well, I feel like moving on to the next episode, the one where they're at the Inquisitorius place, they basically ignored Obi-Wan's wounds. He started relearning how to use his lightsaber and get his reflexes back. Reva and Leia talked for 20 minutes, which was garbage.
It did feel that way, didn't it?
Obi-Wan tried to sneak Leia under his trench coat. Wade died. Fallen hero. Wade.
Um,
I gotta say, Kenobi's kind of dumb.
why you
Because
say that?
he tried to hide a girl under his trench coat. What do you mean?
Fair enough, fair enough.
And also, so here's something. Keep this. He was trying to disguise himself, right?
Mhm.
No Empire soldiers had beards.
I didn't even think about that.
You never see Empire people with beards unless they're like an admiral. And even then,
Huh. I've never thought about that.
yeah,
That is a
you know,
good point,
you barely
but
ever see people with beards. And it's just kind of like, what's this homeless guy doing on our base? He looks like a homeless guy.
why does this homeless guy have 2 extra legs?
Yeah, I don't know what the plan was. Um, it was cool seeing the I forgot what they're called, the Hoth vehicles. But Wade died, so
Are they A-wings or are they?
no, they're gosh, can't remember. It was cool to see them though. So
They're not A-wings.
yeah, I don't think they're A-wings.
Oh, you're right.
Um,
They're not. Uh,
but yeah, what did you think of this episode?
so I thought a really cool part was the catacombs.
Oh yeah, you saw that dead Jedi with the white lightsaber.
Yes. And then also you just see a little boy. It's like, why
Yeah,
is he here?
it's kind of
But I
random though.
I guess the thing is that was to try to draw Jedi in and kill them. Because you see the same thing in Rebels with
Luminara.
Numenera, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I thought that was a really cool thing.
Well, one thing that a lot of people complained about was like this takes a lot from Rebels and Fallen Order. Because literally Cal Kestis snuck in to this place and did basically the same thing Kenobi did.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which
um,
I don't know.
one thing that's interesting is the second Fallen Order game that's coming out takes place during this.
That'll be really interesting to see what goes on then. I think you'll probably see the path in it possibly. But the 4th episode really wasn't good now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
The 5th episode was amazing.
I'm trying to remember what happened.
So they're stuck in the bunker, and the Empire tracks them down, and she's like, "Well, I'm actually hunting Vader," and I'm like, "Well, you're dumb, but that's cool."
Yeah.
And then you get to see Obi-Wan outsmart Vader.
Well, you saw the flashback I remember that flashback was cool. Um,
Where
but
Anakin
I've
still looks
mentioned this
like
to you.
he's 50. Gosh.
Yeah, yeah, he looks kind of old, but it's fine. I told you this, I think, the day the episode came out. I was like, man, Obi-Wan is such a liar, man. Because literally Anakin beats him and disarms him, right? And then Obi-Wan's like,
Yes.
you're so blinded. You think because I've lost my lightsaber that I've lost the fight. And then Obi-Wan fights, takes Anakin's lightsaber and says, okay, we're done. I win. I was like, what? That's not how this works. You just said this isn't how it works. It's kind of like, what? He's such a hypocrite. But then
Yeah, that
also,
was really funny.
like, there was the whole thing where Tala died, right?
Yeah.
And the robot died. But her death, kind of avoidable. I think Obi-Wan wanted her to die. You know what I mean? He could have saved her, but he didn't. You know?
I do like that Tala kind of represented what Leia was striving for, like
Yeah.
who she wanted to be. I kind of like that a lot. Um, that she was like an example for Leia of what it means.
I gotta say though, those stormtroopers, like, they all of them really sucked because they couldn't kill a single rebel until Tala died. Which is kind of insane that not a single rebel died.
I
But
think one or two died, but not very
no, not
many.
even. I don't think. And
Um,
can you give me 1 second?
oh yeah, go for it.
Sorry about that.
You're all good.
But what I was saying was it not almost like no rebels died. Maybe some did. Maybe I missed that. But like almost none of them died. Tala dies. But what's crazy is the reason why she died was because of one stormtrooper. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Let me show you this. This trooper is a hero. He solos Obi-Wan Kenobi and makes Tala die. It's actually insane. Let me share my screen.
I must have just missed this part.
Like her death deserves some clown shoes because it is kind of funny how just basically one trooper is like. Also, Leia, I don't really get the deal with Leia's. Um, she's kind of is an event, not figuring out how something works. All right,
Here, hold that
me.
until we finish this, I guess.
No, it's literally just like a quick thing. It's like one
Oh,
scene.
okay.
Okay, so she gets shot, right? There's two stormtroopers holding Obi-Wan down, and then she's, needs to get saved. Where is it playing for you? Or no?
No, it's
Oh,
okay
okay.
though.
Okay, let me go back for a second. It's random.
What's the time it's at?
Wait, oh wow, I guess it just doesn't play. Do you see something? Or is it just
No,
a
what time?
black screen?
Black screen.
Alright, so it's 2042 on episode 5. I guess Disney put in a feature to where you can't share your screen for Disney Plus because then it would be cheating and it'd be against the law or something.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay. So once you get to 2042, just watch as 2 stormtroopers are basically keeping Obi-Wan down, right? He's busy. He can't help her. The robot's like, okay, I'll die and I'll take the hit for you. And then Obi-Wan's still fighting those 2 guys. Finally kills him. And then one
One guy runs
stormtrooper,
up and backs. What
yeah,
the heck?
one guy runs up and Obi-Wan gets pushed back all the way. This guy is a hero. He pushed Obi-Wan Kenobi all the way back.
That is pretty funny.
I saw that and I was like, whoa, what is this guy doing? He's running at a Jedi. That's like Captain Trench, the one who gets killed by Savage Opress levels of insanity.
That is
You're
pretty
right.
funny. One guy that holds him back.
I mean, damn, dude. This guy. A guy should get like I don't know, what's a medal you get for dying? I don't know.
Medal. I don't know. Was it the Medal of Honor? Medal of.
You should get a Medal of Honor though, for sure. But
His
anyways,
family. Here you go.
yep. Your father bull rushed a Jedi, son. You should be very proud. We finally got to kill at least one rebel that day because of you. Yeah. So that
Sammy
happened.
shot his first first person that he's ever shot because of you.
Yeah. And it's just kind of like, wow. But besides that, the episode had the cool Reva fight, which I thought was really well done.
No,
It just kind of
before
shows.
that,
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan outsmarts Darth Vader. When
but
literally, how is that outsmarting him?
I don't know. But the fact that Vader held a ship from going into orbit is freaking insane.
That's Star Killer levels, man.
Well, no, it's not Star Killer level yet because it wasn't a Star Destroyer, but
True, but they're building it up, man. Star Killer is going to get introduced. I know it, but so he gets tricked, and it's supposed to be like, oh, you see, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know things. And it's like, all right, you got away, I guess. But then,
but could he not have just pulled the other one down?
yeah,
Let's be honest.
oh, Darth Vader could have gotten it, but I don't know. I have no idea.
He just
But
sees
then-
it going away and he pulls it back down to the earth. Imagine that'd be crazy.
Scary. But then Reva decides to attack him now, which doesn't go well for her. If anything, this demonstrates that Darth Vader knows the lesson that Obi-Wan taught him. So I don't know, like, what the big deal was with that. You know what I mean? Like,
And also,
clearly,
it's not like they were getting away at all. They had
yeah,
a Star Destroyer up there that was gonna pursue them.
yeah. I mean, that's really how the episode ends, though, with Darth Vader saying, "Yeah, I knew you were that youngling." Somehow he knew.
The only
Just
cooler
really-
thing that could have happened in that fight is him deactivating her lightsaber.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But after that is the final episode where Reva decides to go kill an innocent kid because Darth Vader gets absolutely destroyed because Leia gets returned home and changes her personality because and then Qui-Gon finally appears to Obi-Wan because why not? That's the answer to all of it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna answer a few of those questions because of
There
Tala
is no answer.
or Leia because of Tala.
Not even when Obi-Wan showed up, she was more interested in Lola. That shows how much she actually cares.
That was so disrespectful. I will agree. I thought the same thing. I was like, she goes Lola, and I'm like, what the frick?
What? This guy just saved your life, and you're just
Not you survived, Lola.
Oh my gosh.
And then what was your other qualm? Qui-Gon.
Yeah, Qui-Gon finally appears because
he finally accesses his Force abilities again.
What do you mean? After he activated them, saving Leia, he's like, Master, I feel him. He's coming, Master. You know, he says that and he's asking for Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon's like, nah, I'm gonna wait for you to become a professional NBA player. Then I'll return home, son. That's what he did.
You can only return if you're useful. Yeah, fair enough.
That's exactly it.
I think Qui-Gon should have been in more of the show. He looked kind of rough, but it's okay. Like one half of his beard was weird looking, but I'm willing to forgive it.
You know what? It doesn't matter. He's in Force Ghost mode. Therefore,
what actually happened was, you know how Rey in The Last Jedi just got all the Jedi powers? That's why she could be That's why she could beat Palpatine.
Powers.
Yeah, Qui-Gon gave Obi-Wan his powers, so that's why he could beat Vader, obviously.
That must be it. So, and there's one other thing I said. Reva went to go kill Luke because.
Okay, that is just a because.
Because why?
There is no reason for that, but...
Yeah, there's no reason for the Qui-Gon thing either. Or the Leia thing, really. It's kind of a stretch, in my opinion.
I think the Leia thing is the Tala thing, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I do think the Owen Lars saying, like, hey, do you want to meet Luke? And then he goes up to Luke and he says, hello there.
That was like, awesome.
Alright, the meme complete.
I don't know. I was disappointed with the show. And so, for the future of Disney, I guess they're just going to be ruining original trilogy stuff and prequel trilogy stuff. I guess that's what they just want to do.
Apparently, the girl from Stranger Things is going to be in the new Star Wars trilogy.
There's a new Star Wars trilogy coming out?
Well, they're making the process of casting and writing it and everything. Remember?
What's it going to be based on?
Not Skywalker stuff. Non-Skywalker.
Like the Old Republic? That's all I want to see.
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of doubt that, though. I don't feel like they actually are willing to do that. But, like, people are like, man, I don't really want to see this girl as a Force user, though, because I get enough of that from Stranger Things.
Fair enough.
It's like, bro, she's already a Force user. Like, we don't need to see this.
Honestly, so the future of Star Wars, I guess they're just doing their own thing. Like, this definitely affirmed that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna yeah.
You know, there was a point where I told William, once I saw Vader in the show, I was like, I'm never watching anything Star Wars again. I hate Star Wars now. And I don't feel that way anymore. I was just sad.
I think I feel more that way now.
Yeah. But I definitely am not going to have high expectations for anything produced by Disney for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, if you mess up Obi-Wan and Vader, there's a huge problem. Like, who are you not going to mess up if you mess up Obi-Wan and Vader? And they already messed up Luke too, so, like, and they messed up Leia, and they messed up Han Solo. The only character they haven't messed up is Chewbacca.
Because I haven't done anything with him.
Exactly, but, like,
Or
it's
R2.
like, they just need to, I don't know, they're just messing up original trilogy stuff, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see how the next show goes, because Rogue One was really well received. So maybe this will be a good show. Who knows?
Maybe.
For Cassian, I just still want to see Acolyte. That's the only thing I want to see, and nobody cares.
Yeah, alright. Well, if you guys liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe.
Definitely tell us your opinion on the show, because I know we have a very, like, critical opinion, and that's okay. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, oh man, this is the best thing Disney has made, and I'm like, I disagree. I think The Mandalorian is better. And also Hawkeye, and also a bunch of stuff. But, you know, that's a very valid opinion to have, because maybe you really like the show, and that's fine. Just tell us what you thought about it, why you thought that, and we can have a discussion in the comments.
Yep. So
Not like an arguing discussion, but like a discussion. Like, we're not going to say, no, your opinion sucks.
yeah.
No, we're going to say, interesting. Like, or like, you know, I can
never
see
thought
why
of
you
that.
feel that way. Like, it's not going to be like us saying, oh yeah, your opinion's wrong. Because there was a lot of good about the show. It's just, it wasn't for me.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree. It just really wasn't for me because of all the blaring plot holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
Alright. Well, we'll see you guys
Alright,
next
we'll
time.
see you guys next time.
Alright.
Bye-bye.